The cool autumn breeze flows across the Bay of Anaris, sweeping into the grand city of Looseport. People bustle about their day as hundreds of thousands of citizens make their way throughout the city on their daily journeys, going to work, moving across, shopping, whatever it may be. Ships sail the bay, coming in and out with goods, with people, with all manner of things as the city lives its daily life. On the Moon Bridge, leading from the Dawn Ward down to the Moon Ward, two young women walk across on their first journey into the city. Ruby, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ruby. Ruby is a young teenage girl. She is stands at about 5'2". She's pretty small and slight. She's a fire genasi, so she has red skin with golden yellow veins and these beautiful smiling yellow golden eyes that just say sunshine and happiness. She was wearing some very normal looking, very convenient traveling pants with lots of pockets all over the place. They have all different types of little accoutrements in them, little bandages, little vials, little potions, and little herbs. And she has this belt that has all of these pouches, just so many pouches all over. And each one of the pouches has these painstakingly carved, leather-burned little drawings of either insects or plants, some flowers that you can tell her progression as an artist as the pouches get newer. She has a chain shirt on underneath a pretty fashionable jacket, and you can see right on her chest she's wearing a symbol of Sehanin, which is a moon under a moon bow. She wears it. She seems to be a little apprehensive about the amulet she's wearing, but she's very excited to be here, and she's very excited to see the city, and her head is just on a swivel as she's taking it all in. Big smile on her face. And she's so stoked.
Walking next to her is Satara.
Satara is a cat-like half-fae with black ears above dark brown hair, typically worn in some sort of braided style. She has brown, almost glowing eyes divided by cat-like little pupils that are vertical. She stands at about 5'5" and has a pretty slight stature. She favors dresses and robes for her attire, and frequently they are adorned with stars, moons, celestial-themed items. She wears a star iron arcane focus on her belt off of her hip, and she is currently very excited and has her black cattail twitching as she views the city and all its people.
As you cross this large bridge, it is wide enough to fit four double horse carts across easily. There's thousands of people on this bridge making their way across the Danur River. It's about a mile wide. And people on the sides, they've set up makeshift stalls with carts or just blankets on the ground that are just vying for your attention as they're saying, "Oh, shop here! We've got trinkets for you!" As this young man sitting there with some brass or bronze jewelry that's just kind of wire wrapped and handmade.
Ruby, look, shiny.
We only have so many funds. We have to get where we're going. Come on.
I promise it's well worth it. It's cheap. I can offer you for a good price. 1 silver piece for this necklace. He holds up this.
Ruby turns and looks at him and just gives the biggest smile that she can possibly give. Say, "I'm really sorry, but we are quite busy. Do good luck, though." And then hooks her arm under Satara and drags you a little further down the bridge.
Fair.
Meanwhile, in a warehouse in the Pier District, in the Moon Ward, an arena has been laid out. And a beautiful half-elf woman stands in the middle of it, wearing a very tight-fitting dress, slits up the sides of the legs. She's got very deep blue dyed hair that's long all the way down to the small of her back. She's wearing, she's got beautiful green eyes as she's smiling at the crowd that's gathered around. And she says, "Welcome to the Court of Justice. All of you have come here seeking a grand and glorious bout. Get your wallets ready. Get your money ready for these bets. We have a challenger to our fine champion, Fuse." And she gestures over to the side.
And standing there is this pretty imposing, big, generally, especially looking amongst the crowd. He's bigger than most people there, a little over 6 feet tall, very muscular, a lot of scars on his arms, very ashen pale skin, and medium-length black hair that's kind of just pushed back over the top of his head that kind of ends in almost like embers, it looks like, as well as his eyes are they're not normal eyes. They look like little flames almost in the sockets, contained completely within. They don't like leak out, but still there as fire. And he has a very noticeable like birthmark that also looks like flames that creep down under his shirt, along his neck and along his chest. And he's wearing like pretty plain clothing. His fists are wrapped up in some wraps that go down his forearms a bit. His clothing all looks worn and old and mended.
And as he steps out, some cheers from the crowd cries up, "Fuse! Fuse! Fuse! Fuse!" And the woman in the middle smiles as she says, "Look at that smoldering hunk." And then she turns to the side and says, "And challenging him today, we have an imposing giant from across the seas. A man of thunderclouds come to see if he can usurp the throne of Fuse. We have Bob!"
In the opposite corner, facing away, looking down at the bucket of water, and he's toweling off his head, and he stands up, and he just keeps standing up. There's just more and more and more. He's not full storm giant height. He's only about 8'2", but he's taller than you'd expect even for like a Goliath. He's got a completely bald head, no shirt, really wiry build, kind of like you'd see on like a rock climber or a martial artist, and just trousers that go down to the knee, nothing below the knee, bare feet, and just turns around and just kind of looks like, well, okay, I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but here I am, and just kind of gets in a ready stance.
This fight is an exciting bout to knockout, to leaving the arena, or to tapping out. Well, we hope none of you will do that today. We want to see blood. We want to see punches. We want to see fierceness, she says. And she steps to the side and she says, "Fight!"
Oh, initiative.
Oh, okay. That's incredible.
All right, Fuse, what'd you get?
An 8.
I see it was sarcasm.
14.
Hey, Bob got a 14. Hey, we got above a 10. These are great rolls to start us out, guys. All right, Bob, you got to start us out.
Despite being, huge, Bob, in a very, very fast move, leaps forward and attacks. Corner, sorry about that. And that's a 9.
Oh, wow, that misses.
Okay. Bob just goes by.
The fist. I'm kind of just like, I was just kind of standing there still, and you punch, and I'm just like.
So he's going to carry that momentum and turn that into a turn and attack again. That's a 20.
Faster than is that a natural 20?
That's a natural 20.
Oh, no! So we're doing massive critical hits. So your first roll die roll is maxed.
Okay.
Meaning, so you roll one damage die and you just add as max as if you roll for the first die. So
Sure.
D6, right? So it's 6
So
plus.
that's 6 plus this 5 plus another 5, so 16.
You take 16 points of damage.
I wasn't ready for that one. I was not ready for that one.
Yeah, you dodge the first blow, and then he just turns and just
just whips around just as fast as he can, arm fully extended, and just catches you in the side of the face with the back of the hand. Just
blood goes flying at this point out of the mouth.
Fused,
Is that a tooth I saw?
it's been a while since somebody's punched you like this.
I just kind of crack my neck. The eyes kind of flare as I rage a little bit. Turn over there and just start swinging back.
Bob dances back in a ready position. What do you got? Come on.
We'll see. See if I got anything. Yeah. Just a normal attack for now. I got a 26 to hit.
That'll work.
Is that a critical?
No, it was 19
Oh,
on the
okay.
dice. So
I mean, I guess your criticals aren't very big right now.
no, they're not. There would be one more damage. So 8 damage.
Okay.
And then the second hand follow up is is a miss for sure. It's a 11 to hit.
Okay, so that was 8 damage. Bob's going to use his Stone's Endurance to defer some of that.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but okay.
So Stone's Endurance is a Goliath thing. Once per, I think it's short rest.
Once per short rest, yeah.
Yeah, he can negate 1d10 worth of damage.
D12, actually.
D12
Yeah, D12 plus your con.
as a
Did you negate
reaction.
it all?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
As you just gut punch him and he just doesn't even move. He doesn't even
takes
just
it.
flinch.
Tightens up his abs and takes it.
Sick. Cool. That's all I got. My turn.
Back on the bridge, you two are walking down the bridge. As you've stepped away from this person, as a young woman, a young human woman, kind of walks up to you. She's cradling a baby, and she says, "Priestess, excuse me."
Ruby doesn't realize
She
that
says,
she's being talked to.
Priestess, could you bless my son, my newborn son?
They mean you.
Oh, me?
You.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
me?
Priestess. This is my son Udgard. He was born yesterday, and I've been seeking somebody out for a blessing on him of health and.
Yes, I can definitely do that for you. And Ruby will walk up. Utgard, you said?
Udgard, yes.
Utgard. Well, you're very cute, Utgard. And she places her hand on his forehead, closes her eyes. May Setani's blessings bring you health and happiness and many treats.
He tries to grab your hand and your fingers, and
I let him and just kind of play with his little hands for a second, and then
just
pat his head
blankly
again.
reaching around, and yeah, you step away, and she says, "Thank you so much." Sorry to disturb you, and she
Have a great day.
she moves along.
I was asked for a blessing.
You were asked for a blessing. Look, you're a priest already.
This is easy. Okay.
Back in the court of justice, Bob, it's your turn.
Bob takes that gut punch and just kind of laughs it off and grins down at you.
Oh boy.
And does a 23 hit.
Yes.
So 9 damage.
At least it's halved now because you're raging.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps a little bit.
No, I'm not looking too hot.
Bob pushes forward and just strikes right at your center mass of your chest. And he's like, that didn't do as much damage as it should have.
It still did plenty. The first hit was enough that I'm a little bit rocked.
Oh my, do we have someone that's gonna beat our fuse? You hear from the side.
Bob kind of steps back a little bit, hops back like, here comes a big kick. And whiffs it.
Oh.
Just goes right in front of your face. You must have leaned back a little bit at just the right time and completely misses.
It was close. It was close.
Yeah.
It was close.
Fuse.
I got no other recourse other than just keep punching. So that's what we're gonna do.
Punch harder.
Yeah, I'm gonna reckless
More
attack
punch.
now so that I can hopefully maybe get some good hits in. I got a mini 23 to hit.
23. That hits.
That does hit, yes.
It's actually more than that, but that's fine. 23 is fine.
That's
Yeah.
plenty. You can
So,
stop there.
8 damage for that hit, and then just like a follow-up like leg kick as a quick little Afterthought for a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Good. So that's only 3 damage that time, though.
Okay, so that's 11 total.
Yes. Had to math. And then, yeah, that's all I got for my turn.
You're feeling your bruises. He's hitting you a couple times.
Bob takes that blow to the jaw, and there's a little bit of a blood on his lip that's cracked, and he's just like.
You two, you've reached the other side of the bridge. You're not sure exactly where you need to go, but you are in the right district, in the Pier District. You're looking for the Court of Justice.
Should we ask somebody where to go?
So I'm pretty sure this isn't an actual court. So I think we maybe don't ask the city guard. I'm looking for some type of folk in particular. And Ruby's gonna scan the room for someone that she thinks would know where the Court of Justice would be.
There's various people around. There are a few city guard. You've seen plenty.
Not
it seems like the city is fairly well patrolled. You see what looks like another priest just kind of walking along. This one looks like a priest of Paler. He's got a big sun amulet on his chest with a couple what looks like guards following him.
Ruby just smiles.
You see other pedestrians making their way along, just standard stuff. You're right next to kind of like a corner bar that's kind of outside and serving some people. There's plenty of people drinking there. And then you're near the wharf where people are making their way along. You see lots of different workers. You see some dock workers, a tiefling and a human just kind of pair walking along. Looks like they're just finishing their lunch and heading back to wherever they need to work.
Right. Dock workers. That is probably the best bet. And Ruby's gonna fish around in her pouches and pull out a silver. Okay. You just go up and you ask where the Court of Justice is. And you give him that.
Do you need me to ask?
Yes. Okay. So right, we're looking for the Court of Justice.
Court of Justice.
And if you give them that, if they tell you, you give them the silver. That's a reasonable amount of money. So yeah, I'm gonna turn around though, and then Ruby turns around.
So brave.
Tara shrugs and walks up to the
As you're walking
folks
up,
who
they're
look like
chatting
dock
to each
workers.
other. You hear King Tomar's fallen ill again.
Hello,
Shame-
excuse me.
Oh.
I'm looking for the Court of Justice. I will give you this if you tell me where to go.
Kind of confused, looks you up and down. He says, "A young lady like you doesn't seem like Court of Justice is your kind of place."
I'm seeking the brother of a friend.
I suppose. It's not too far. You're pretty close. As if you head along the wharf about a mile, you'll find a green griffin on the corner there near the piers. Just take that road, go down about 2 blocks, and you'll find the Pickington House. It's a warehouse.
Thank you so much. Here.
You'll probably see a couple rough and tumble folk. If you just ask for the Court of Justice, they'll probably let you in.
Thank you. Ruby, I know where to go.
Great. And I intentionally make sure that they don't really see me, and I run off with Satara.
Good day, he says. You two run off. Back in the Court of Justice.
Back in the Court of Justice.
The Court of Justice.
Justice is about to be dealt.
Yeah, apparently.
Bob's definitely got some serious ringing going in his ears, but he's not feeling like he's down yet. 14?
Misses.
Oh.
You have advantage on that.
Oh, yeah,
because
you
he
do have
reckless
advantage.
attacked.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
I'm
yes,
sorry.
yes.
I wasn't aware.
No. I should have.
Oh, so that's 23?
That'll do.
Sorry, I have to express the
that's fair.
rules.
That's fair.
All right, 8. 8 damage.
Ow.
Another solid blow. Ooh, Fuse
he
isn't
looking?
Looking too good.
Not too good.
How's he looking? Okay, yeah, we're going to do our second attack.
Again, you have advantage. So
So thank goodness that 2 sucked a lot. Hey, come back here.
your dice are jumping out.
I know. The 2 sucked less than the 1.
So you take the 2.
So 9.
I'll take that too.
And
for a
miss
9.
just barely.
Yeah.
Now's your opportunity, Fuse. He misses his second blow.
Try and slip past the punch, slip in there for a strike. I'm gonna keep reckless attacking at this point because I'm gonna miss anyway. I think 15.
No.
Too tragic. Too tragic. What about a natural 20?
Okay, yeah.
That's only 4 damage though.
Okay, fine. Bob is looking really, really rough.
The 2 of you are looking super rough.
is-
Both of you are bruised,
Weeping.
battered.
Crowd is going wild.
Yeah, this is at least this is a slugfest.
Sitara and Ruby, you've followed these instructions to a T, passing the Green Griffin, this very standard tavern and inn combo that's almost in every city that you've ever been into.
That would be none.
I guess
Yeah,
you
which
know.
would be none.
You would know.
Nope.
Wilcrest didn't have one.
Nope,
but,
we didn't have one.
It's like the Motel 6 of the world. You know, they're everywhere.
Ah.
But yeah,
Just
you
have
come
to
up
have
to
two
this.
people who are unfamiliar with cities.
Everywhere except where you're from.
You come up to this warehouse. It's pretty well maintained looking. There's some carts that you can see out front, but there's these 2 big thugs kind of standing out front, looking very rough, as they're kind of keeping an eye out, watching as people kind of walk along the street. You see a few guards, but they don't seem to pay any mind. They just kind of walk past and don't even glance at the 2.
I'll walk right up to them and be like, "Excuse me, I would like to go to the Court of Justice."
Looks you up and down and he says, "You're a bit late for the show." And you hear a shout and you're like, "Ooh!" from inside.
It sounds like I'm just in time.
Well, yes, this is. I think you knew the name, and he kind of opens up the door and lets you guys in as you step inside. And you, you see, as you step inside, you see Theo and Fused and Bob standing in the ring, punching each other in the middle of this ring. Bob, it's your turn.
Okay.
You still have advantage because, again,
I kept reckless attack.
Bob rolled a nat 20.
Good. I am certainly going down on this hit then.
Okay, so 6 plus 2 plus 5, 7, 13.
okay.
Yes, that will be. Wait, I think that's half as set as 6, or it's 6.
Half
right?
as
Round
6,
down.
yeah.
That's just enough. I will go unconscious.
You go unconscious?
Wait. So
Yeah.
we walk in.
Yeah.
And I get
Bob?
knocked out.
You walk in, Bob picks him up, grabs him by the neck with his hand and by the crotch with his hand, and just picks him up and hurls him over the ring. Just right over the side.
Out of the ring.
Onto the dirt, just like a WWE match.
Everything goes silent.
Except for you.
People turn and look.
Healing
and they're
word.
like- and then people just shout like, "Bob! Bob! Bob! Bob!"
And Bob, instead of being like, he just looks confused, like,
And
I guess I
this
did right.
half-elf woman walks in smiling and she says, "We have a new champion, ladies and gentlemen, Bob!"
She tries to lift his arm up, but only gets it about waist high with it, and so he takes it up the rest of the way.
The Thunder Child! And people just cheer and it's super excited. Fuse, the last thing you remember is getting picked up and just
Chuck.
everything just went like kind of black and you hit the ground. But then half a moment later, like you come to just a moment later, only missing a few seconds as you're like dazed, but you don't feel as hurt as you should be. As you were healing word, how much?
Not much.
Less than I'd hoped.
See.
Oh wait, just kidding.
It's 2d4.
Yeah.
Not 2d8.
Wrong dice.
Oh, a lot actually. 8.
Plus your wisdom
Uh,
modifier.
yeah. 12.
12.
All
right.
a lot.
Very
13.
respectable.
13. Sorry, 13.
That is a lot.
Your math
You have
keeps
staged
changing.
a
Yeah.
remarkable recovery.
Yeah, it's
Apparently.
like the bruises feel gone a bit, and you feel better.
And then Ruby is running through the crowd and pushing people aside.
People are not even paying attention to you. They're kind of cheering. They're going up to this half-elf woman trying to get... Yeah.
And Ruby is right on top of Theo all of a sudden and is just, oh my gosh, are you okay?
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, and kneeling above you is your sister, who you haven't seen in
Did I
years.
die? I look around, still
can't be
mess in
right.
here. There's still a bunch of people in here. And I'm like, Ruby?
Hey.
Why? What are you doing? I'll kind of like scramble to my feet, not be on the floor.
Are you okay?
Look around
and she's
more.
just like touching your head and like looking and she's like, are you okay? That looked like it. Are you okay?
That hurt more than I'm used to, but I'm fine.
I'll walk up behind Ruby while they're talking and be like, this is Theo.
Yeah, this is Theo.
What are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you here? As I kind of gesture at the room.
I'm looking for you. Found you. Actually, success.
Yes.
Mission accomplished.
A blue-skinned tiefling walks up to you two and looks at you, Fuse, and he chuckles. Finally got your come-upsins, Fuse.
I guess it had to happen sometime.
Well, I guess maybe you can earn a chance to get your championship title back, but not now. I need to talk to you when you get a chance. It says I've got a job for you.
All right.
Comes straight from a trend.
All right.
He says, I'll be in my office. Grab Bob when you get a chance. As he looks over, and you see a whole bunch of people just around Bob, like, just
Bob's
cheering.
just like surrounded by tiny people, and he doesn't know what to do with this celebrity.
Could use the extra muscle. And he says, don't bring the girls. And he says,
Okay.
on your own time, and he walks away.
And Ruby's just
Girl.
like, ew.
Yeah, he's kind of gross, actually.
I'm looking around at this crowd full of like chanting loud people just surrounding me on all sides, and I look extremely unnerved.
They're having a good time. You see some people don't look very happy as they're passing coin around. You know,
I'll wait for
yeah.
Bob to get his moment in the spotlight.
Uh-huh.
Enjoy
He
his-
slowly wades out of the ring and just like shakes a few hands and.
Do you head over towards...
Yeah,
the-
he just headed toward the exit for the ring on
Yeah.
Theo's side and just like, well fought, little man.
I don't think anyone's ever in my life thrown me that far.
Well, you don't weigh much.
yeah, this is your first time seeing this guy who is...
Up and up and up some more.
You are very tall.
And he just looks down at the new arrivals, these two very, smallish women, and he's just like, I don't know who you are.
We have some business. The boss man wants to talk to us.
We see dagger.
Yes.
All right, I'm with you. No hard feelings.
No, it was a good fight. That was a good first hit. I kind of rubbed my jaw, shake my head a little bit.
2 critical hits in a single fight. I'll do it.
If this is the court of justice and your brother lost, was he unjust?
This isn't actually a court of justice. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
I guess.
Okay.
Wait here.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Bob's just going to walk off ahead he knows where Dagger's office is.
Office quotation marks.
Yeah, you come over to these stacked boxes that kind of cordon off a corner of the room. There's an orc thug that's kind of standing out there. Very burly guy. Not as big as either of you two, but still a fairly burly guy. And you can see he's got a dagger, and he's also got a hand crossbow. He's just got weapons. But he nods as you guys walk over and kind of move to this makeshift door, which is just kind of this like plank set of planks that have been leaned up against to kind of separate, and you move it to the side and you step in. There's a few other crates in here. There's a crate in one corner that's open. The lid's kind of sitting on top askew. You can see some straw kind of sticking out. So there's stuff in there. And there's a makeshift desk, which has like a couple barrels that have been put out with like this plank across. There's a pile of coins sitting there. And you see Dagger. He's sitting on a stool on the other side. But standing next to him is a young woman. She's young, probably no older than 20. Standing there. She's about 5'3", not very tall at all. Very slight of build. She's got obviously dyed turquoise hair that goes from a lighter and fades to, not fades, but goes from light towards the roots and goes really dark towards the end that comes down to the middle of her back and in this tight, well-kept braid. She's wearing exquisite clothing. She's wearing a leather cuirass with some bronze studs in it. She's wearing a gray blouse underneath that's very high collared, comes up covering all of her neck, with a pin on either side. One's a bronze pin with what looks like an open book and a sword point down. With some runes that are kind of scribbled into it. You can't really make them out. They're in a language that neither of you read. And on the other side is a golden lyre. And she's wearing a couple daggers on some bandoliers around across her chest as she looks at you two and sizes you up. And Dagger kind of nods as you come in, and he says, "You know, I didn't think some girls would come after a loser like you now, Fuse."
You don't need to worry anything about that.
He chuckles. He says, "I don't know what kind of girls you pick up these days anyway. All they do is leave you in the dirt." And he nods. He says, "Good show, Bob. Never seen anyone throw my boy Fuse around like that."
Where's my payment?
Straight to business. He grabs some coins and he flips you 5 gold pieces.
And Bob looks at him and goes, "It was 1 more gold for a knockout."
You didn't knock him out. You threw him out.
Hmm.
And he
He's
slides 2
technically
gold
correct.
pieces to you.
Bob just kind of growls and
Quickly
puts
pocket those.
puts his 5 away.
Regardless, this is, I have a job for you straight from a trend. He needs you to help this fine young lady out. And he gestures over and she steps up, standing tall. She offers her hand out and she says, "I am Mari."
I'll quickly shake her hand.
Turns to you.
And he just shakes her hand. Doesn't
Sounds
say
like
anything.
you already know my name.
Fuse. I've heard your name around, though. She looks up at Bob. This is my first opportunity to meet the Child of the Storms, I think they're calling you now.
I am from the joining of the voice of the Thunder Dream unnamed, and watcher of the drowning moon, Talmyrin Olarun Sorintal. I am Bobrinin Tulfafarin Trimpeder, shattered dreamer of the moonlit watch.
Bob.
Bob is fine.
Bob is fine. She.
What the hell of a name?
Regardless, I have a job and I am in need of 2 fine bodyguards to assist me. It's a dangerous job, but it will pay well. I need some help tracking some goods down
All right.
that have gone missing.
In the city?
No, outside the city. A shipment went missing from Dumost, and I need some help finding it. I'll pay well, 150 gold for the for the job.
That's great, but why us? Why doesn't the guild have people for this?
She says, I could. Let's just say that some of those things I would rather not be known to the authorities.
Interesting.
Bob says, I will not steal for you.
There's no stealing involved, she says. It's just recovering what belongs to the society. She says, my organization.
And he just kind of glowers at her, like, I'm not sure. Seemed kind of sus.
She says, I am from the Society of Ancient Artifact Retrieval. We are an official organization here in the city, and we look after Kenku artifacts that have been acquired from ruins, and some that we were in the process of obtaining have gone missing.
Kenku, the bird people?
Yes. The old residents of these lands.
They are a myth now.
I'll switch to speaking in Thieves' Cant and talk to Dagger at the same time and ask him if Bob's gonna be. Is this an official job with him? Is he joined up, or what's the deal there? And also want to ask him. I guess it's probably too much for one little. I'll just start with that.
He replies in Thieves' Cant. He says, I need you to. I mean, he's of a good size. He's done good in fighting, and we could use another muscle around. So I need you to try him out and see if he's fits the bill that we need. Consider it a trial run.
And that just kind of sounds like we're chatting about how the fight went and when the next rematch will be.
And Bob's just patting you on the shoulder like, yes, good job, tiny man.
And I kind of try to ignore that and talk to Mari, and I'm like, so do you have any other people? How many?
Well, this is the start that I was thinking of, the core. I could use 2 strong, intimidating men to assist me in this, but I will need a few more. I was planning on hitting up one of the mercenary guilds to see if I could find a couple other people that could assist.
I think I have some people that maybe we could.
Do you?
Yeah.
As Dagger raises an eyebrow. He says, who the fuck you know?
Yeah. Look, I talk to people.
Whores?
And other people.
Marius shrugs. This is who are they? What are they capable of?
They're the capable wilderness survival.
She
Woodland
raises
smarts.
an eyebrow.
They'll trackers and herbologists. Is that a word? Herbologists.
Herbalists?
Yeah, that one.
I am not
We'll
sure.
need a healer for certain.
That too could be useful.
I mean, if they know medicine, that could be of help.
I mean, probably, honestly. Actually, for sure, there was magic involved.
Thinking back
actually.
earlier.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, they can do magic, healing magic.
That would be excellent, she says. I would happily be introduced to them. Do you know where they are?
Yeah, actually, come with me. I'll try and kind of get out of
Okay.
Dagger's sight. And
Okay. Dagger kind of shrugs.
Doo-doo-doo.
Bob just follows along behind. He's like a puppy. Giant
I'm
puppy.
impatiently
you two
waiting,
have been
pacing back and forth.
Standing out, waiting. There's people kind of wandering around. There's lots of people kind of going up to the half-elf woman and trying to get their money and everything. A couple people glance your way, size you up, look you up and down, just to see who you are, what you're doing. But you're kind of off to the side, staying away from the major crowd. It doesn't take long, but a few minutes pass before you see Theo come out with Bob behind a slight young woman, not much older than you, Ruby, wearing exquisite clothing, as I described before. But you immediately notice the pins on her neck. One being the Society of Ancient Artifact Retrieval. The other being a pin that marks her as a constituent of the College of Sune.
Wow.
And an expert musician.
Wow.
And they approach. Fuse leading the way.
So this is Ruby, the magic user I was telling you about, and
Pleasure to meet you. She offers
Hi.
hand. I am Mari, son daughter.
Ruby,
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm
It is-
Satara.
lovely to meet you. Are you a member of the Society of Artifact Retrieval?
I am. She says, I'm surprised you recognize it.
I have read several of your publications. Are you? So, is there an application process?
Application?
Right.
She
did you-
kind of glances over at Fuse for a second. She says, I didn't know you would have a friend that would be so cultured.
Intelligent.
yeah, I know people.
I mean, we're always on the lookout for people that are capable and knowledgeable, that report themselves well.
Right. I am capable and knowledgeable on things. I really want to learn some more. And yeah. So
And
What-
what are Satara's skills?
Mari
she-
kind of like looks at you
she's
like,
a mage.
Yes. A mage. I look at Mari like expectantly.
I mean, that would be excellent.
Like you've sold it.
She says,
Yes,
It's a mage.
That's Bundy.
I was looking to hire Fuse here, and he recommended you two as capable fellows in a job. It would pay well. I won't speak of it out here. She says there's a crowd still about. But I could use some assistance in retrieving some artifacts.
This is something that
it'll
you
take
want
us-
to do.
Yeah. This society is like really cool. I've been reading a lot of that. There's journals over the years, and this is very exciting. If
You-
I could be hired, if I could.
You don't recognize her name, Mari. She's not published as any of the works that were there, but she's too young. She's probably a very junior member.
Yeah, she knows the process.
Mm-hmm. But Mari says it'll take us out of the city for a month. We need to journey south towards Dumont.
Is that towards the ocean?
No,
No.
it's the last. It's at the crossroads before going towards Hothal or towards the Wild Cape, towards the Dragonspine Mountains.
But it's something that you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, if I can get a job with the society, then we might be able to gain the funds to hire an investigator.
Oh, that would help a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent. She says, I would like to leave as soon as possible, but do you need any time before we go?
I at least have to go grab a pack. I don't have anything here.
We
Okay.
have been traveling actually all day. We just got here. And I was
Oh.
hoping to go to the temple before.
She's kind of confused that you just got here and like.
They were out on business,
Okay.
I am,
If you need some more time, that's fine. But I would like to leave as soon as possible.
Maybe tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow would work great. If you meet me by the Moon Gate, we can head out from there.
That's where we came in, right?
No,
no, it's a little bit further south. I
you
think.
guys came from the Sun Gate
Okay.
to the north. The Moon Gate's on the south side.
Tomorrow then.
Excellent. That sounds good.
Right. What are the terms of the job?
She says,
We can step outside if you want, but
she says simply, I'm retrieving some a missing shipment. It went, and so it shouldn't be that bad or that difficult. I don't expect too much trouble.
okay. Okay.
Your brother, not your brother. Fuse can give you the details as to the amount.
Great. Lovely to meet you, Mari.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. I'll see you tomorrow, she says as she turns and walks away.
May Setani guide you. Right.
Bob's just like, I'm hungry.
Food would be a good way to talk, at least.
Ruby's still just kind of like looking at you, like she's a little upset that you threw her brother. So she's clocked that you're injured and is not really still trying to decide what
Not
she wants to
helping.
do about that. She's
Just no, never mind. It's okay.
I know a good place to eat if you guys all want to come with me.
We've been looking for you, so it seems appropriate.
I'm hungry.
Sure.
As you get ready to leave, Dagger steps out of his office and he catches you and he nods to you for a second.
1 minute. I'll be right back. I'll walk over there.
As he says, look, if anything happens to Mari, it's going to happen to you.
What connection does that?
Don't ask questions, he says.
It's your ass.
Sure.
Let's just say that her ass is worth a lot more than yours.
Yeah, used to hearing that.
Don't get any funny ideas to take what's hers.
Sure.
Boss will not be happy.
I'll keep that in mind.
Keep an eye on the others, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Ruby will begrudgingly be like, okay, you do look a little beat up. Are you all right?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Your brother hits very hard.
Yeah, you're going to have to lower yourself
Why?
down here a little bit.
Were you two fighting then?
And he just drops down to one knee.
Okay, let me take a look at that. And
Lowers like his head wound down toward you.
and Ruby will patch him up a little bit and kind of stitch your forehead close and put a little salve on it and put a bandage over it and kind of check your eyes and make sure you
concussion.
And then hand you a little bit of like a little vial and just down this and you'll be solid.
He just pops a cork out and drinks it.
And
Very
then-
trusting.
I'd like it back. The vial.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
I already drank it. How can I give it back?
Not in a way I suggest.
You can wait.
Not much. You heal for 6.
Okay, thanks.
Oh wait, I get to reroll once. Just kidding.
Is this cure wounds?
13.
Is this cure
No,
wounds?
it's
The medicine
it's my med kit.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Uh,
13.
By this
Nice.
point, Fuse comes back over.
And I'm like, well, let's get out of here, as it's not sure what else they've got planned for the night, but we probably don't want to stick around. Let's go get something to eat. I'll
Where do you take him?
take them all to my favorite spot, the boiling eel.
Oh,
That
okay. So you
Sounds delightful.
No, trust me, it's good.
you walk towards the outer wharfs, towards the Bay of Anaris, not towards the river. And you walk a little ways. It's a bit of a walk, making your way along the streets before you come up to this ramshackle-looking building. There's no front to it. It's completely open on the inside, though there is a roof that kind of comes over and blocks it out. There's a few chairs and tables that are laid out in front and inside. At the very center is this big cauldron. I mean, it's an enormous cauldron. It's probably a good 8-foot diameter cauldron. And you can just see steam rising from it and bubbling, and the whole room just smells delicious. It smells rich, savory, kind of. There's a bit of a fish smell to it, but like a good cooked fish smell, not like
A little
Not
bit
like
like
a-
the sea.
yeah, not like a raw fish smell, but like a good cooked fish smell. And you see there's people all around in tables just kind of sitting around. At the very center, standing near the pot, stirring the pot right now, is this water genasi. Bluish skin, hair that is white, that almost fades to sea foam as it kind of flows across his head. He's wearing just this vest, open-fronted vest, where you can kind of see a not so defined body. It looks like he was once muscular, but most of that has faded for a little bit of punch. But you can see scars on his abdomen and chest as he's standing there. He's wearing these kind of short pants that come up just about his calves, and he's just stirring this pot, and he's just humming to himself happily as he's kind of making sure everything's cooked. There's quite a few patrons around, filling up almost every table except for one kind of towards the back corner that looks
How convenient.
it looks just like deliberately left unfilled. It's kind of in a decent spot where you can see most of the tavern. You notice a few other people. You see a middle-aged human woman that's kind of walking around. She's got auburn hair with a few streaks of light in it as she's serving people, helping them out. But she looks over and sees Fuse and says, Fuse, your table's open.
Thanks.
Gestures over, and
I'll wave as we kind of take everyone over there.
Mm-hmm.
Bob leads the way because he has just an absolute literal giant step. And as he gets to the table, he just grabs it by the edge and pulls it out away from the wall, takes the chair that's behind the wall, puts it on the other side of the table, and goes down and sits, kind of lowers himself down the wall cross-legged so that he's right about what normal height would be at the table.
You guys sit down at the table.
It smells delicious in here.
It is delicious.
Is that
I'm
boiling
very
eel?
hungry.
Well, I mean, in part, yeah.
Oh man, I need to get a bowl of that. It smells so good.
It
I
does
am
smell
so
good.
hungry.
It is the specialty.
That middle-aged
And the
woman kind
crab
of walks over
cakes.
after finishing up at the table that she's out, and she comes over, puts a hand on one hip. She smiles and she says, Fuse doesn't often bring too many friends around. She says, welcome to the Boiling Eel. I don't think I've seen you around, but what can I get you? We've got stew and crab cakes.
Get the crab cakes. The crab cakes.
Oh, okay. Can I get both?
Yes, you can get both. Anything to drink? We've got ale, we've got mead, we've got beer,
do you have
we've
wine?
got. Yes, we have some wine. I think.
Very reassuring.
Maybe.
We don't. Wine isn't necessarily our specialty here, she says with a smile.
Do you have fruit nectar?
No, I have. She gestures to the pot. I've got stew, and she gestures towards a door in the back, and she says, and crab cakes.
I'll try a little of both.
All right.
Bob says, I am very hungry.
Hello, very hungry.
I will try many of both.
All right. We can feed a big boy like you. She smiles and winks at you,
I'll just have the usual.
nods, and she walks off.
So, who is this? Point at Satara.
Who is fused? Points at you.
First of all, it's Fuse. There's no D on the end of that. And that's me.
That's what she said.
Hopefully not. Hopefully that's the opposite of what she said.
This is Satara, my friend.
I'm derailed.
Elaborate.
I mean, she's my friend, Satara. You asked who she is. That is who she is.
I've never seen her before in my life.
Well, yeah, she's new. She's been staying with us for about 6 months now.
Okay. And you're where are you from?
The Feywilds.
Is that a joke? Is she joking?
No. She was very lost when she showed up. So she's been hanging out with us for a little while, getting herself together and helping out.
Ruby's been helping me try and figure out life on the material planes.
At this point, the waitress comes back, and she's carrying this massive platter with like 4 bowls on it. One of them more like a small cauldron itself, and an enormous platter of just crab cakes just stacked on top of each other. These very rich looking, buttery looking biscuits essentially that look like they have little bits sticking out of them that look like crab meat in them, and she sets it down on the table and starts dishing out
Snatch.
plates and puts drinks out for everyone. This large pitcher essentially for you of mead, and she hands you a cup, wooden cup with what looks like a red liquid in it.
I sniff it.
It smells like wine. Probably not the best wine.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.
She says, "Enjoy. Let me know if you need anything." And she just walks off. And
Thanks, Janine.
Janine? Thanks, Janine.
she nods and smiles.
Bob reaches inside the hem of his robe, and from inside the hem, he just pulls out 2 chopsticks and just quickly pops 3 of those crab cakes in his mouth before he even starts chewing.
They are rich and savory and absolutely delicious.
I start munching on
And
the one I took.
He just nods at Theo, just like, yeah, this was good. Yeah.
Ruby's kind of hesitantly looking at her food and just kind of glancing at Theo and looking at her food. And
Okay, so you're from the Feywild. You've been hanging out with Ruby for 6 months, and you brought her to the city?
no,
no.
I brought her to the city.
Okay, why?
So I was coming to find you, and I didn't want to travel alone. Well, I was also told to bring her with, so
Told by who?
Mom has passed. She told me to come find you. And so that's why I'm here.
When did that happen?
About a week and a half ago.
How did that happen?
She was sick for a really long time. Started a little over a year ago, and she just kind of started fading away.
As you guys are discussing this, Bob just starts to eat more slowly and more somberly, and he's just like, ooh, not great.
Satara was obviously very lost when she arrived in the village, and Mom offered to let her stay and help her get her feet together. And Satara helped out a lot for the last few months, especially because Mom couldn't really run the shop anymore or do anything around the house. And so
She was very kind to me.
That sounds like Mom.
yeah, so she told me to come find you right before she passed. And so I am here.
Is that all she said?
Not exactly. But, Ruby just kind of looks at Bob, and it's like, I don't know if we really want to have this conversation. with
Bob sees him look at her, and he just looks down at his food.
As unassuming as the 8-foot tall dude.
Right.
Can be.
Trying real hard to be small. Failing miserably, but trying real hard.
I feel like I need enlarge reduce now.
Oh my. That could be really fun.
Yeah. She told me to come find you, because she said that she felt that something was going to happen and that we needed to be together. And so she asked me to come find you. And then, well, I was able to find you because I'm apparently a priestess now. And a god spoke to me.
Wait. What do you mean?
I know that's not supposed to happen, which is another reason that I want to go to the temple. Because I feel a little bit like an imposter right now. I'm not really a priestess, but I am apparently. And I don't really know what's going on. And so I was hoping to get a little bit more guidance on how to properly be a priestess of Sehanine.
So you haven't been to the temple yet?
No, we literally just got here and then went to come find you.
Probably don't go to the temple.
Why?
Well, you found me first, for better or for worse, and my crew doesn't play well with the temples.
What's a crew?
The group of people that I am associated with.
Okay.
Bob looks up and goes, "We are the crew."
Well, you are now.
Interesting. Why would and Ruby looks very puzzled by that.
Yeah, you wondering about Mari?
No.
Oh,
No.
because I am.
Oh yeah, how much are we getting paid for this job?
Yeah, like... You see Theo thinking for a minute. Says, 150 gold, I think, when it's done. A person.
Oh. Goodness.
Is that a lot?
That is so much. That is so much. Should we be getting supplies? We should have asked for in advance. I probably need to actually be prepared for this.
Can't we just do what we normally do?
Right. I feel like if we're getting paid that much, the expectation levels are a little higher than I was anticipating.
Bob finishes his pitcher of beer in one easy drink and just holds it up. And Janine sees him from across the room. And she's like,
She doesn't even say anything. She just grabs it from you and walks off for a moment.
Can I get one too? Not a pitcher.
Yep. Not even looking back.
You're not old enough to drink alcohol, are you?
Shanine's already gone. Doesn't even hear you.
No, but I feel like I should now.
No, I don't think that's how that works.
Is she not supposed to?
It's not good for, I hear it messes with your development or something like that.
Sitara, the red wine you're drinking is subpar. It's a bit more sour than it should be.
I'll take a couple sips of it and just kind of like push it to the side.
Wow.
I think it'll be fine. Just some day packs, some bedrolls, some food.
Right. I should refill on some of my sutures and such. I used quite a few on Bob's head.
He does have a big head.
Yeah.
Bob just laughs.
Wow.
Keeps stuffing crab cakes in his face.
It's like half the crab cakes at this point have just been interred in Bob's mouth.
Bob seems to be really enjoying the crab cakes, so Sitara's just going to be eating her stew and leaving them for you.
The stew is also very good.
Nice.
It's a nice fish eel stew.
Oh, so I love it a lot.
Yes. Yes.
I'm really sorry to drop in on you like this. Honestly, I wasn't expecting for you to be thrown out of a arena when I saw you for the first time. So that was a little more abrupt than I was anticipating.
No, I'm sorry. I never had the means to come back and see you and Mom. I got kind of sidetracked a few times. And most of the time, unless it's on official business, my associates don't like if I leave. So, I don't know. I kind of got swept up in all this. Time got away from me. So, you don't need to apologize.
Ruby's just gonna slide over and just hug Theo and just kind of sit there for a sec.
I slowly, kind of awkwardly put one arm, but once it's there, it stays there.
So are you Fuse or are you Theo?
My name is Prometheus, but in the group, the guys that I hang out with, we don't use our real names for, and not being recognized easily. So
You're quite tall. I'm sure you're recognized very easily.
Yeah, but if people are talking about me and they say Fuse instead of my name, it gets a little bit more confusing, you know? It's just that extra layer.
Confusing. I get it.
That was, yep.
Good one.
It's for the notoriety.
Opposite, but yeah. I
Jinian
guess.
comes back with drinks. She puts a whole pint down for you.
I just
and
like
then a pitcher back.
I don't
and then
say
she just
anything,
moves off.
but I take it. I just take it, and that's mine now, and I drink it.
None for you.
I push. No, I don't. It was gross. I don't want to share it with you. You don't deserve that. You deserve better.
You're gonna push the wine cup off the table. Just...
I thought about it.
I put
But
my
the floor doesn't deserve it either.
I put my water glass in front of you.